What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we are going to be leaning a little bit more into the finance side of things than the most recent couple videos, and we're going to be talking about how to go from $0 to $10,000 per month. And before we get into this, some of you guys are probably thinking, why should I listen to this guy that is telling me how to make $10,000 per month? What does this guy know about money? Well, my name is Brandon Clark. I'm an online fitness coach, and I have made $100,000 per month every single month of 2025 so far. All right, I have documented my progress. I run brand-based businesses online. You can check out my Instagram. You can check out the rest of my YouTube videos for overall credibility. But without further ado, let's get into this video. This is ultimately the first milestone for every single person. Hitting $10,000 per month is a huge benchmark. Personally, how I always thought about this was I am a healthy, intelligent, able-bodied male. If I am working hard, if I am giving something my all, there is no reason why I shouldn't be making $10,000 per month. Even if I'm in the trades, even if I'm in construction, it doesn't matter if I have a college degree or not. I should be able to, as a strong man in today's society, make $10,000 per month with not even a whole lot of education. I personally did not graduate school. I was going to school for a business degree, decided to drop out because I thought that building a business in the real world would be way more of a valuable teacher than sitting in a lecture hall listening to a professor who had never built a business before. And now ultimately I'm going to be talking about the skills that you need from mainly an entrepreneurial perspective. Okay, and when some people hear the word entrepreneur, they kind of cringe a little bit. But what I want you guys to understand is that even if you are working a full-time job, if you don't see a path to making six figures at the full-time job that you are working at, as a man, you need to have a side hustle, or you should be getting out of that situation as quickly as possible. Because ultimately, you should be trying to make six figures. And the thing is, if you don't have a side gig, you are wasting a lot of hours every single week working for a company that doesn't really care about you as a person, and ultimately working there won't enable you to get to a point where you are making the kind of money that you deserve to be making as an able-bodied, generally intelligent male in today's society, all right? So even if you have a career, you should be working towards having more independence, more flexibility, not being so reliant on a corporate institution. You know, I work with fitness coaches who come to me and tell me, Brandon, I got canned by my job last month. I made them so much money, like I did so much for them. I spent so many hours working unpaid overtime, and they still canned me. When it came down to it, they would say, oh, we appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. But as soon as things got tight, as soon as the company got into a pinch, they threw you out like garbage. So understand that when you are working for a company, they are never going to value you for what you truly deserve. Now, the main beauty of entrepreneurship comes because it forces you to learn all of the skills necessary to become a deadly weapon in every field. That is why entrepreneurship is ultimately so beautiful and so valuable. Because ultimately you need to understand these things that I'm going to be talking about today. And one thing I really want to drive home is that you do not need to get fancy with it. So many people think that they need to get fancy with entrepreneurship right off the bat. I'm going to go through these points and you are going to understand that it's a very foundational structure that will allow you to make $10,000 plus per month. So what you need to understand, let's start off with number one, all right? Productization. creating a product that solves a problem. When it comes to entrepreneurship and when it comes to making a lot of money, you need to dive into pain points. You need to be in touch with what people are struggling with. Personally, I'm a fitness coach. And so what I do is I try to put myself into the shoes of the people that struggle a lot and that need a fitness coach. Thankfully, I live in America, and the majority of people are overweight, obese, have terrible cardiovascular abilities. They are not healthy. And so what I do is I put myself in their shoes. I say, how difficult is it for them to play with their children as they continue to age, when they're incredibly overweight and they can barely get up off the couch? When they want to play with their children, they can't even do it. When they take off their shirt at the beach, they're incredibly ashamed of their body. They want to hide. They want to wear a shirt to cover it up. I ultimately make content based around those pain points to appeal to people that were in the situation that I was once in at one point, where I didn't like my body. I didn't like where I was, strength-wise, health-wise, nutrition-wise. And that ultimately brings me to the point where I'll say, if you are a fitness coach and you're interested in building a fitness coaching business, make sure to check out the free guide that I have in the pinned comment in the comment section down below, as well as in the description. I go a lot more in depth on what it looks like to build an actual fitness coaching business and how to scale it and the day-to-day minutia that you need to be aware of. So keep that in mind and go check that out. Now, a big part of productization is creating a product that you actually believe in. Well, why is that so important? Well, it's important because of the sales aspect, all right? The best salesmen have conviction. They have belief in the product that they sell. And the beauty of entrepreneurship is the fact that you get to create your product. At the end of the day, everything is sales, from you actually selling somebody on a call to the content that you post or the ads that you post, which pushes us into the next point. Marketing. You need to understand this. How do I get my product in front of people? Me personally, I have built an audience online. I think long term. I think about, how am I going to build my brand over the next 5 to 10 years? Because it takes a long time to build a lot of trust with people, especially through social media. And if you're somebody that wants to build a business, you want to hit $10,000 per month, but you don't want to utilize social media, I mean, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Social media is just simply a way to get your product in front of more people. So you can utilize things like your personal network, but social media is incredibly valuable. I'm building a brand right now that I couldn't even put a price on how valuable it's going to be, because I know the dividends that it's going to pay me off 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the line. 30 years from now, I'm going to be the jacked old fitness coach that's been on social media for 30 years. And people are going to think, wow, that guy has a lot of wisdom. That guy's been around for a long time. That guy's built up a lot of goodwill. That guy has a bunch of killer testimonials. He knows what he's doing. I trust him. I'm going to give him my money. I'm going to hire him. That's my plan. I'm thinking far into the future. And if you want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, like I do right now running brand-based businesses through my social media, you have to play the long game. If you don't see yourself doing it 5, 10 years from now, you're never going to get to that point. So many people have a very, very short time span that they're operating under. Expand those time horizons. Understand that in the short term, the best thing that you can do is utilize the personal network that you've already built. So everyone that already knows you should know about your product and should know about your business. You know, there's coaches inside of Empire Blueprint, which is the community that I've created to help coaches scale their fitness coaching business. And there's a couple people that have done $5, $10, $15,000 in the first month of being in there because they utilize their personal network. They utilize the people that are already in their lives. and they reach out to them and they say, hey, if you know anybody that needs fitness coaching, if you know anybody who doesn't have any idea what they're doing with their diet and they want to lose weight to be in better shape for their children, please tell them I'm a fitness coach. Send them my way. I will provide them my service, my product. And that leads into number 4. Keep things simple. I see so many people get caught up in all of these fancy CRMs, these KPIs, key performance indicators, these things that lead them astray, that take them away from the foundational structure that is actually going to be incredibly useful in their business, what actually builds the business, what actually gets results, which are these main components that I'm talking about here. So keep it simple. You don't need to get fancy with it. There's no need for fancy funnels. You can use good old-fashioned, old-school business methods and make $10,000 per month easily. I personally didn't have any CRMs with my business until I hit $30,000 per month from fitness coaching. I didn't need it because all I did was I created a product. I was selling that product. I was positioning that product in front of an audience that needed my help, that needed my product. I was marketing it and I was selling it. And I was continuing to do that every single month. Number 5, relationship-based businesses, all right? Every single business should be a relationship-based business. These are the best kind of businesses because they generate a ton of testimonies, they generate a ton of referrals. And what's the best way that you can create a relationship business? You can over-deliver. You can provide such an amazing service that other people send you people to coach. Other people send people to purchase your product. I have tons of clients that come to me through other people who say, oh yeah, you helped John lose 60 pounds. He said it was amazing. He said you changed his entire life. He says that he feels like a completely different man because of you. I'm going to come to you for coaching. I've had that happen so many times. Tens of thousands of dollars I've made, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars I've made from word of mouth, from the people that I have impacted going out into the world and telling others. So do relationship-based business. When you work with someone, make them feel valued, make them feel appreciated, be invested in their journey, be invested in how your product solves their problem. Pay attention to the stories that are created when your product solves their problem and use that as marketing. Use that as content. That is when people really start to get attached to your business and you start to build a brand, all right? So build trust and goodwill and watch the floodgates open to you. Watch opportunity come from every which direction. Because you are over-delivering, you are caring deeply about the people that you are working with, and you believe in your product. Number 6, I'm going to say organic over ads. Everybody becomes obsessed with ads when they first get into business. There's a huge difference between organic content and ads. And I'm going to break it down for you. The beauty of social media today is the fact that you can post content that can market for your business, for your company, for your brand, and people aren't forced to watch it. Ads, people pay, and they say, hey, I want this video to be in front of people that don't care to watch this video. So people are going to get ads that they don't want to watch. They're being forced to watch it. Versus the organic content, if you can make organic content, market your brand, your product, your service, and people want to watch that, they are so much more likely to buy because it's something that they're actually being entertained by. They're deriving some sort of value from it. At the end of the day, if something doesn't perform well organically, it is not going to perform well with ads. Trust me, if you're not getting leads from something performing organically, it's not going to perform with ads. Organic allows you to test out ads without a ton of money spent up front. This is the beauty of having an audience. This is the beauty of providing value over an incredibly long period of time, is you have a group of people where you can put things in front of them and say, hey, does this work? Does this work? Does this work? And they will tell you what is best. And that will allow you to then promote things in the future. If you decide to run ads, you can promote what really works because you know what kind of marketing appeals the best. I personally make $100,000 per month, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video. I have not run a single ad. That's completely organic. It's all based around relationship-based businesses, around brand-based businesses. But at the same time, I play the long game. Years ago, I planned out this entire thing. I understood exactly what kind of fitness coaching business I would run, exactly how I wanted to tie it into my content on social media, exactly the kind of pain points I wanted to solve. I thought this stuff through. That's why I've been able to scale to where I am today. That's why I was able to blow past $10,000 per month. All right? Number 7, I'm going to say invest in your education. Please do not be scared to hire a coach, to hire somebody that is further up the ladder than you, that has already done what ultimately you want to do. All of the most successful people that I know have coaches. They put their egos aside and they say, I don't know everything. There are other people that have already done what I'm trying to do. It's better to pay my ignorance debt forward and have these people tell me what I'm doing wrong and tell me what pitfalls to avoid. Ultimately, these people are going to be expensive. If you want to pay somebody who is successful at business to tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and to tell you what to avoid, if they are actually good at business, their time is going to be incredibly valuable and their time is going to be incredibly expensive. So understand that. If somebody is a cheap business coach, if they're like, oh yeah, dude, I'll coach you for $100 an hour or $50 per hour, you should probably be like, if you're offering me, if you're basically saying that I can pay you $50 per hour for you to coach me, how much do you actually know? Because if you actually knew business, you'd be doing way better numbers and you'd just spend more time doing that to make more money. They're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They just don't know what they're doing. A lot of business coaches out there have no experience with business, haven't built a business at all. A lot of fitness coaching, business building mentors have never built a fitness coaching business, don't have a single client testimony, and yet they're telling other people how they should go about building their fitness coaching business. Those people are hypocrites, all right? So these people's time, it's going to cost a lot of money. And number 8, I really recommend that you tithe and give, all right? This is a huge thing that I want to promote. Like, I personally can tell you from my experience, when I give, I notice that I just get more in return. And in the Bible, God says, give me the first fruits and watch the floodgates open. Watch the floodgates of heaven open unto you. I truly believe in this. And you may not be a Christian, and that's okay. But at the same time, you have to understand that you want to use your money to do good. And you will notice that good will come to you. All right? So hopefully this video helped you guys out. I can't emphasize enough how brand building is the business of the future. So get out there, put yourself out there, post content on social media, start to understand that you need to invest in your education, that the beauty behind organic content and how we can operate in today's social media world, how relationship-based businesses are the best when you build a brand that is the best form of business. When you keep it simple, you don't get lost in the weeds. When you ultimately understand how to market, when you understand how to sell, and when you have a product that you really believe in, you will blow past $10,000 per month. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you watched all the way till the end, you don't have a super short attention span, and I appreciate you. So drop a single thumbs up in the comment section down below so that I know you watched all the way through the entire video. And also make sure to drop a like on the video down below, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.